This is always an honor to be able to, on this stage, to spend some time to share with you the pictures of how our perspective of how we see LoRaWAN. So before I do that, good morning to everyone, and thank you for here to listen to what we have to share with you on the journey towards IoT everywhere. So I'm Henry Huang, as Olivia have introduced. I've been in this IoT world for, I would say, more than 12 years now, and still having the passion and having the enthusiasm to see that what we have dreamed of has been actualizing step by step as we come to 2024 and as we look beyond. We have more and more players, peers, and friends that are actually building bits and bits, pieces of pieces to build the IoT world that we believe 9 years ago or even 12 years ago when we first came across the technology of LoRaWAN. So I would like to start off my presentation with the first slide. We believe this is a dream that we have 10 years ago, or even more than that. We have a dream that there's an internet world with a lot of dots in all continents, connecting all possible of things that would help our life to be more convenient, more effective, and well-connected for the efficiency and the quality of life that we're looking for. So in that kind of dream being set, we set sail a decade ago, trying to contribute as a part of the ecosystem by building series of products of hardware. And I guess this is how my friends in the industry see Browan as the device provider, the gateway providers for different applications, as we are capable of designing different devices for tracking, for monitoring, for controlling of IoTs around the world. So having been building these gateways to serve the markets and so many different variations of devices, thus far, for Browan, we have successfully shipped out our devices that were built for IoT purposes, LoRaWAN devices, to more than 35 countries. And I checked my list. It's really actually from A to Z, which is quite interesting, isn't it? Because before coming into the LoRaWAN world, I was working intensively in the Wi-Fi world, where we like to say the Wi-Fi alphabet soup. And so alphabets meant a lot to me and some sort of achievement to me that our products is being shipped worldwide, and you could feel that actually around the world, not only Europe and US, in Africa, in Latin America, in Australia, everywhere in the world that you could imagine, has the interest of building up their society, their community with more conveniences and more expectation of how IoT can improve their quality of life, and not to mention, of course, this comes from the revenue that streams in, the cost that goes down, the effectiveness of management, the efficiency that comes out from it. And accumulating of more than millions of units to around the world. So as we set up this journey of a decade of IoT journey that we have always come across of a lot of requests, inquiries, and asking for help. If we could actually give them a universal, instead of pieces, Browan, you're great, but you're just giving me devices and I will still have to build my own thing. And it creates a lot of problems to them and kill their interest of actually implementing a LoRaWAN or a LoRaWAN system, or even killing their interest in IoT, because then they step back and say, it's really not so easy, for what I'm investing now, it's full of trouble. So they needed some sort of someone or to some level, and I see from the hall yesterday and today on the list of agenda, we are all actually marching towards the same direction to help the globe to enjoy instead of suffer from building up the IoT, but to enjoy the benefits of what IoT brings. So, and then we found that when they were asking for customization from the hardware to the management system to the application server and so on, there is still a lot of elements that prevent them from deploying quickly. So I would say my peers here would agree to me that a typical selling cycle of an IoT as a system, 9 months, 12 months, before it actually scale up, right? So it is quite difficult to actually help smaller enterprises. What I'm saying is the big enterprises who has good resources to set and manage the system will be able to get the system scaling up within the 12 months' time. But when a smaller a smaller party or smaller company who are interested in IoT, they would have a very difficult time to actually get it up and running and then enjoying the efficiencies and the ROI that was expected on the books. And that's why, as the third point, is the high cost and project cost of these integration processes. So in that being said, as the inquiries and requests from my customers, we are trying to transform ourselves from just the previous defined role as the hardware pieces provider with more values. So with the dots, as I said earlier, these are the dots that were provided. What can we do better to connect the dots to a line and eventually to an area that actually provides the value? And I think after years of shipping out millions of units, it is the point for Browan to actually help my customers to cultivate the values out from the dots that we have deployed around the world. So the idea is to start Gemtech from, we started out Browan from the end nodes and gateways, and then with the integration of the network server that is around with our peers, that is available there commercially, with the application servers, the mobile apps, and the software that is needed for better management with more advanced analytic tools to help them turn this system from dots to create the value. It sounds simple, but we have been doing for the last 5, 6 years, helping a lot of different customers to expedite the process to that level, because this is what IoT is meant for. Otherwise, it is just a connection of a door to tell you that you forget to close the door, or like, or the PIR just to tell you that there's someone in your home. What else? What kind of other values? And this is to be extracted out from the system that, or the devices that have been deployed into the market over the years. So this is what we are trying to do more with the software, the analytic tools, the application server, to address specific markets, because I don't have extended resources to do so, but we have decided to move in 3 areas where we see ourselves with adequate and appropriate resources and knowledges to help our customers to address the pain they have in a certain situation. So with that being said, what are we doing? So if you look at what we are now offering and launching now, we have a smart agriculture solution that we are actually deploying locally in our market, especially in Taiwan, to actually solve the farming issue of our vegetable plantation. So we actually provide the sensors for them, customized for their purposes, for their easy management, because you don't really want the farmer to worry so much about this white small boxes, matchboxes that is hanging around, or this ruggedized design gateway that is standing there for some reason that they don't really need to know. So we have the device which we are good at making. We customize it for the scenario, and then we even along with the LoRaWAN gateway, we are also providing a satellite S-band using Semtech's chipset to build a satellite gateway for aggregation of devices, data into the satellite and then to the ground control. And not to mention, it comes with the Browan application server and the application computer-based, smartphone-based for the management of it. To share, and it actually is trying to solve. I think my peers have also been doing this different patches of projects around the world that I was quite excited to gain the insights from them to improve my own deployment. It's actually solved the overwatering or underwatering issue. I think water is getting more and more of an issue, not only in farming, but in everyday life. And the costs and waste of issues and the dependency of rainfall and also the labor-intensive irrigation problems, because less and less people are actually engaged in the agricultural business or planting and plowing the land. So by having this system, we solve the problems, and this is some pictures that we took from the site, the place that we deploy, how it's looked, to share with you. A small slice of the cream to share with you a little bit, but when you go there this time of Taiwan, we are not like Munich. This is great weather to me, like free air conditioning outdoor. But in Taiwan, this glass house would simply go up to about 35 on a daytime. So you wouldn't really want to stay there too long. And the second perspective that we are cutting in is actually the smart tank level monitoring. We see that there's a lot of gas tanks in industrial sites and even in food and beverages. You know, in many instances, the beer they are drinking has some addition of CO2 that is pumped on site at the bar, right? Which not the microbrew, that's a different beer, but you know, some commercial beers would be supplied to a bar or a restaurant area with an additional CO2 tanks to support that. And if the inventory of the CO2 is not being well taken, first of all, there's a loss of businesses, and then for the supplier of the gas would be spending extra money for the routing of the gas tanks around the town just to refill the tank, which is tedious and costs significantly. So we help and work together to solve and provide a solution that actually help them to monitor the situation and to increase their customer satisfaction and stickiness to them with the good services that is provided with the pre-alerts from the IoT devices, like the monitor for the tank, and then the level sensor, and then also the temperature and humidity sensors for the condition of the tank's area, and also the CO2 sensors for monitoring the leakage of the containers in the room. So we actually serve the food and beverages level CO2 as the starting point to address the restaurant area where they have CO2 safety monitor in the room of the tanks, where there might be more than 2 or 4 tanks for CO2s. Of course, the level with mechanical or electronic level sensoring, and then also the temperature for the environment of the storage, and so as to improve the scenario or the environment that they are of concern in this business. So this solution actually, in summary, helps to solve the manual data collection issue, because in many restaurants, there's no dedicated person to look at the inventory of the CO2, except for the the restaurant owner who are interested of continuous revenue every night, every evening. And then there's also limited visibility of the tank. You have to walk up to the tank while there's a lot of people in your restaurant to check, for the level of CO2 or the inventory that you have, and then the condition of the environment and so on is more of it an experience job instead of a direct, eyesight of what is being displayed. And then also there is a supply chain disruption problem where the supplier couldn't actually route their tank to refill you before they could finish the next 3 days routine. And that kills your business significantly. And then, of course, the high operation cost to maintain the supply side and the demand side, the balance of it, there's a lot of jobs that is created just to go around for checking the inventory, just to reroute the routes and so on. So they are happy to have it, and then actually, the tanks is about the height of myself, a 6-foot tank to supply the restaurant for weeks of CO2 supplies. And then we have the gateway and the belt, the sensors actually attached to the tank with an electronic mechanism to detect the level of the tank so that the service of drinks, of carbonated drinks, would not be disrupted during a regular week or a regular month before it's being refilled. Then this applies to different tanks that we are aiming at manufacturing site who has a nitrogen tank or where sites are using O2 tanks for different purposes, which are replicable and applicable for different industrial with gas concerns. And then the third perspective that we would like to share with you is the smart collision prevention solution, because we have came across warehousing of ourselves in our group where we built millions of units with my mother company who are having sites in different countries. They churn out millions of set-top boxes and products that way. We have forklift in our own warehouse, and we have customers having the same problem that they have issues, accidents and injuries that are caused by the forklift and people in it. So to solve the problem, we provide straps for identification of the location of that person. We provide the tags for the forklifts or other bigger machineries in the warehouse which might be running around. And then also to control the environment of the warehouse, as I said, the wristband and assets for the more expensive access within the warehouse, to provide them the services that I'll share with you later on, and then, of course, the all-in-one gateway with LoRaWAN and some ultra-wideband for the precision of the location of certain items, along with the backend server and the application UI and the UX and the statistics to share with them. So in the environment, we will be able to provide them some level of authorized entering for different employees in the restricted area, where smart wristband and smart vehicle tags for employees that are in the area where the forklifts are moving and you don't run down people. And then we have access tags in the warehouse to help them identify some bulky items that has been sitting for there sometimes, and when it comes to using it, you can't find it. So they needed us to do that. And this is a solution that we are trying to improve, not only with the traditional door, window, close security kind of sensor, but more of a value by providing them the positioning of assets and all the prevention of running down others. Because they told us that annually there's about 24,960 forklift-related injuries. I never knew that. In a year, so many people is run out by your own colleagues. Is it purposely? You just hate John. I have to run him down. You never know. But to prevent that from happening, we have to have a system to prevent that, because any any injuries in a warehouse cause a shutdown of your operation. And more and more of this warehouse is supporting the electronics e-commerce in preparing boxes to be sent to your home. Any disruption that causes your box, whatever you buy, to delay for 1 or 2 days, it kills the customer satisfaction. For me, I'll call, hey, what's up? Send my thing. I've been waiting for 2 days. It shouldn't be so long. And things like that. So injuries, 73 people are killed in this kind of injuries, in this kind of working environment. And then 34 average injuries per day, as you could count. And then not to mention, in terms of financial, over 3,513 in fine per violation. And that is just for violation, not to mention the shutdown of your operation for authority to come in for security, labor's safety check. So we solved the problems of what we have with blind spot of the forklift, operational complexity where they need security here, they need tracking there, they need prevention of accident here, and to prevent, most of all, the human error of running down your own colleagues in a warehouse. So we have small forklift, big forklift, and people with the wristband, where when it comes to a proximity within a 5-meter range, it will give you an alarm. This is, whether it's 5 or 10, this is all definable by whatever kind of parameters that you'd like to see in your premises, in your facility. And then so as to prevent the rundown of your colleagues accidentally, and also with the straps on, you will be able also to partition certain people from going into the conditioned warehousing area, where you have a higher security or a higher requirements of opening the door, preventing the environment condition to be deteriorated because of too many frequent in and outs of employees. So we still have our IoT team. We are expanding what we have accumulated over a decade to help more industry with more customized requirements from the hardware side all the way to the analytics. And then we do not want to provide our values only through the supply of dots. We are connecting it into a line where it actually makes sense of deploying it, expediting the cycle of implementing a solution into a certain verticals or certain environment. And of course, along the course, we are always interested to look for partners to work together to improve this LoRaWAN technology into more areas of application. And as I was attending the first day meeting, Mr. Petrina from Zena has mentioned they have a slogan or a motto in the Munich group, which we really appreciate and try to embrace together too, which is better together. So with more partners working together, we will be able to enlarge our audience or our benefiting groups to enjoy what we have dreamed of and to bring to them. And we are enhancing our IoT with more productive analytics, and eventually with all the data that we have collected from the dots, we hope also to come up with a smart management system, or even up to and with more algorithms that could help the facility or the managers to do their own on-site decision when we have the enough data. And this is the path that we are doing, and we are progressing. And along the course, you are always the friends that are looking forward to help us to make this a worldwide reception and to enjoy the growth that we have, the life of IoT that we have all dreamed of. So we have a dream. Let's continue to have the IoT dream together and work together as a strong, united team. Thank you very much. This is my presentation for today. Thank you.